Hey everyone, it's Pat from Pat's Over Music. Now today we're checking out what I think is one of the best sort of beginner entry-level guitars I have ever played. Now, when I first started guitar, it's important that you know I couldn't decide between acoustic and electric. Because I loved artists like sort of James Taylor and Jack Johnson, I gravitated initially to the acoustic guitar. I learned the acoustic guitar for a few years, and then discovering players like Joe Satriani, Yngwie Malmsteen, Metallica, Silverchair, all those sort of big rock bands and metal bands. Then I started playing the electric. Now my first electric guitar was the brand was Hondo, and it was like a pink, purpley, sparkly guitar. And it was all sort of I can afford, and I saw it in the music shop and I thought, man, this looks amazing at the time. I'm sure it sounds as good as it looks. And I was in for a world of hurt. The problem was the guitar itself never stayed in tune. The jack sort of failed after the first week. It was just wasn't a great guitar. It was really heavy, really heavy, and it just didn't really gel with it. And I actually thought that it was myself that was the problem, not that just, I'd bought maybe a not so great guitar to start with. Now, if you're just starting the instrument, you're thinking, Pat, should I get an acoustic guitar? Should I get an electric guitar? I always sort of put it like this. Do you like music like James Taylor, Jack Johnson, those sort of acoustic artists? Maybe some Neil Young sort of acoustic stuff as well. Or do you like bands like Metallica, Dream Theater, all these sort of big sort of rock and metal bands? Do you like those bands? Then get an electric. If you like the acoustic bands, get an acoustic. And the reason is you want to be excited when you sit down to practice. You want to look at the instrument and think, yeah, that is a cool looking guitar, I want to play it. And also you want to be able to learn songs by your favorite artists and have them sound exactly like, the same sort of tone. Like you don't want to be playing Master of Puppets on a classical nylon string guitar. Sure, it'll sound cool, but it won't sound like the record. And if you're trying to imitate your favorite artists, definitely the way to go. So enough rambling aside, this guitar in my hands is the best sort of value for money beginning guitar I have played, because it just stays in tune so well, and it's got really usable sounds, and the price is amazing as well. To think that I paid maybe $300 to $400 so many years ago for a guitar that was really, just the quality was nowhere near as good as this. This guitar, I would say, is gig ready. You could just jump on stage and you would be ready to go. And you'll see throughout this video, through all the different sound clips, you'll understand why, I think that it just sounds so good and it holds its tune really well, which is something I couldn't say about my first electric guitar. Now, if you're wondering what guitar it is the Sterling by Music Man Silhouette. They've had a bit of a name change, so all these style guitars are now called the Silhouette. Now, if you've seen me play the blue American-made Ernie Ball by Music Man Cutlass guitars, that is the high-end American version, and this Sterling by Music Man guitar, made in Indonesia, is their sort of entry-level beginner guitar. But as soon as you say beginner, people go, oh no, it must be terrible. As you heard from that clip at the start, it has such a beautiful sound. Let's just go through a few different pickup options and then change the amps onto more of a heavier tone. But here's the front single coil. Just a really nice sort of neck tone. Let's check out the middle sort of position. Just a really nice sort of clean tone, great for chords. Let's check out the fourth position. It's sort of great for like a spanky funk tone. And even what's really cool is a lot of sort of guitars in any price point, the humbucker is normally super trebly, sounds great for sort of hard rock, but anything else it's just too sort of piercing. But have a listen. really usable, not too ice picky at all. Let's switch to something a little bit heavier. Just before we check out any more tone samples, let's talk about the guitar itself. So remember, it is the Sterling by Music Man Silhouette guitar. Features a really sort of light, good weight, good for practicing for hours at a time, basswood body. It's got a rock maple neck. It's got a Jatoba fingerboard. You can sort of think of it as looking similar to rosewood. It's got a 5-way selector switch, so you can get these 3 pickups as you can see here, but you can also get there in between tones as well, which we will check out. So 5 different selector switch, and let's sort of check out a heavier metal tone. Pretty sort of solid, chunky rhythm, pretty happy with that. Let's sort of take back a bit of the distortion and try more of a hard rock sort of sound. So still really beefy, plenty of power from that bridge humbucker, but if you go to the neck and you roll down a little bit of the volume, you can still get like a bluesy sort of tone. So plenty of usable tones. Let's sort of create a backing track and then I'll show you what the lead tones are like. But as you probably guessed it, the main reason why I like this guitar is it's just built incredibly well. It's designed by a team. They've taken their highest end, you know, American-made Cutlass, Ernie Ball by Music Man Cutlass guitar, and they've thought, okay, what are the best features? How can we take the tone, take the design, take, you know, the feel of the neck and bring that all the way down to their entry-level guitar? And I think they've really succeeded. It just feels and hopefully sounds to you like a really high quality instrument. For like an entry-level guitar, I wish that I started with this guitar. I could have one guitar, you know, maybe in my sort of youthful days when I was a teenager, maybe I would have like slapped some stickers on it or changed the paint or something, but you could have one guitar to grow up with for years, gig with. It really is that good. Let's create a bit of a backing sort of loop and show you some solo tones. Let's check that out. Now it's the end of the video. Now hopefully by now you would have got a good sort of idea of what this guitar is capable of. I tuned the guitar at the start of the video. It's the end of the video now. We've gone through some leads, some cleans, some distorted tones, and still the guitar hasn't let me down. And that's the best thing about it. It's a solid instrument and it is a solid investment. And if you're thinking of just starting out, you're buying your first electric guitar, I would highly recommend, not that such a thing exists, but this would get the pat stamp of approval for just a brilliant, great value for money instrument. It's a Sterling by Music Man silhouette guitar, and it's made in Indonesia, but just the quality and overall design has come all the way down from their American factories to this entry-level instrument. But don't think of it as being a beginner instrument that's just gonna let you down and that you're just gonna stop playing after a few weeks, a few months. This could last years, and even, as I said before, could be gigged with. Highly recommend it. If there's any questions or anything you wanna see or hear in particular, let me know, because I'm doing a full, more comprehensive review. This was just a sort of quick video, just sort of highlighting some of the key features that I really like about it. And overall, I just thought, you know what, this guitar is so good, it deserves a bonus video, not just one review. I really like it that much. So by all means, if you want to see or hear something, let me know below. But I've been Pat from Pat Dave Music. You've been awesome. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again in a couple of days.